The Los Angeles Chargers are making serious moves, and fans everywhere can feel the excitement. After hours and hours of covering the NFL Draft live, I just couldn't stay away. I had to jump in and talk about the amazing new talents joining the Bolts. First, let's talk about two names you need to remember: Trey Harris, our new wide receiver, and Jamari Caldwell, our new defensive tackle. These are the guys who could seriously change the game for us. During the second round, we were all hoping the Chargers would grab a strong wide receiver, and they delivered. Then, in the third round, they added serious power to the defense. It's clear that Joe Hortiz knows exactly what he's doing. He's finding players who fit perfectly with what the Chargers need, not just in talent, but in heart and fight too. Watching the strategy behind these picks makes me even more excited about the future of this team. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Now, let's dive a little deeper. When the Chargers picked Trey Harris, it showed how sharp their scouting team is. Even though there were other wide receivers available, the Chargers believed Harris had a higher ceiling, and that's big. Some big names were still on the board, but the Bolts trusted their plan. And remember last year? The Chargers had a clear vision when they picked their top receiver, and it worked out beautifully. That's why I'm even more excited about what Trey Harris could become. His potential is sky high, and knowing how smart the Chargers are with these picks, we might be looking at a future star in the making. Trey Harris is exactly the kind of player the Los Angeles Chargers needed: strong, fearless, and ready to dominate. From the moment his name was called, it felt like the Chargers had made a powerful move toward rebuilding their offense the right way. Standing tall at 6 feet 2 inches to 6 feet 3 inches, Harris brings a physical style of play that this team has been missing. He's a true boundary receiver, the kind who isn't afraid to fight for every ball, battle defenders one-on-one, and come down with tough catches. Watching him play almost feels like watching a new version of what Mike Williams brought to the field for years. Even though Harris played just 8 games last season at Ole Miss, he still racked up over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. In the SEC, no less. Imagine if he had stayed healthy the whole year. We could have been looking at massive numbers. His chemistry with quarterback Jackson Dart was electric, and it's easy to picture him building that same magic with Justin Herbert. The best part? Harris isn't just about raw strength and deep shots. Some scouts underestimated his route running, but if you really dig into his tape, you see something special. Harris isn't just running straight lines. He's smooth, he's smart, and he knows how to beat defenders. His performance against man coverage is incredible, earning one of the best grades in the nation. In short, Trey Harris isn't just another receiver. He's a playmaker who could become Herbert's trusted weapon, someone who can make big catches in big moments and bring back that explosive edge the Chargers have been missing. Trey Harris is the type of wide receiver the Los Angeles Chargers have been searching for, a true game changer. Yes, he had a few drops last year, but compared to what we've seen before, especially with players like Quentin Johnston, Harris is a major step up in reliability and toughness. He's not just a deep threat, he's a fighter. He attacks defensive backs with a fearless attitude, and he brings that big, strong frame that helps not only in catching passes, but also in delivering some powerful blocking on the outside. Simply put, Trey Harris checks nearly every box the Chargers needed to fill. Drafting him at pick 55 in the second round made perfect sense. He's the perfect complement to Ladd McConkey. With Harris stretching the field, McConkey is going to find so much more space underneath to dominate. And it won't just help McConkey. Even Quentin Johnston will benefit. With Harris commanding attention as a true X-receiver, Quentin can move to the Z position where he's more comfortable, giving him a better chance to grow and succeed. This pick just screams smart football. Joe Hortiz once again showed why he's such a mastermind behind the Chargers' new direction. Think about it. The Chargers could have gone for a different style of wide receiver, like Matthew Golden, a good player, no doubt, but one who fits more as a slot option. Instead, they made the bold move for a true perimeter force. A player like Trey Harris can open up the offense in a way that slot receivers simply can't. And while other teams scrambled for second-tier running backs, the Chargers made the right choice, focusing on building a physical, powerful identity on offense, starting with real weapons like Trey Harris. It shows the Chargers aren't just looking for good players, they're building a team with serious purpose and vision. Trey Harris isn't just a piece of the puzzle. He might be the key to unlocking the full power of Justin Herbert's arm and the future of the Chargers' offense. With Trey Harris stretching the field, everything changes for the Chargers offense. Now, defenses will have to respect the deep ball again. This opens up new life underneath, especially for Quentin Johnston, who can now attack softer coverages without as much pressure. That's why the combination of Trey Harris and Amarion Hampton feels so powerful. It's not just good, it's exactly what the Chargers needed. Size, speed, physicality, and a real threat on the perimeter. And if you remember how last year played out, when everyone doubted the team's draft strategy but it turned out perfect, it's starting to feel a lot like that again. Just like Joe Alt and Ladd McConkey turned into home runs, this pairing could reshape the offense completely. Now, let's be real. Trey Harris does come with a few concerns. If not for a couple of setbacks, he likely would have been a late first-round pick. The biggest question mark? Injuries. Last season, Harris was limited to just 8 games due to a groin injury, and he's had a history of knee issues too. The Chargers know they're rolling the dice here, but with the way the roster is being built and the arrival of a strong conditioning staff, there's good reason to believe Harris can stay healthy and shine. And when you look at what he accomplished even while battling injuries, 1,000 yards in just 8 games, it's hard not to get excited. Some might worry about his speed too. A 4.54-second 40-yard dash doesn't jump off the page. But tape never lies, and Harris plays much faster than that number suggests. When he gets into open space, you see another gear, one that defensive backs have real trouble catching. He's not just fast, he's explosive when it matters most. It's almost the opposite of some other prospects. While some players look faster on paper than they do on the field, Harris looks faster where it counts, in live action, against real competition. When people compare Harris to players like Alec Pierce or Michael Gallup, they're not wrong. But honestly, that feels like his floor. His ceiling? If everything clicks, Trey Harris could grow into a weapon similar to A.J. Brown, a physical, dominant receiver who changes the way defenses line up. The Chargers didn't just add a wide receiver, they added a potential star, and it might not take long before the whole league realizes it. When the Chargers added Trey Harris, it felt like they had finally found the piece they were chasing. All offseason, there were whispers about the team trying to land a physical wideout like DK Metcalf. And while that deal never came to life, Los Angeles might have gotten an even better fit at a fraction of the price. Trey Harris brings a blend of size, strength, and deep ball ability that instantly reminds you of the old days when the Chargers offense was deadly through the air. Think back to the Rivers era or the early days of Justin Herbert when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams kept defenses guessing. Now, a new duo is ready to take over, Ladd McConkey working magic in the middle and Trey Harris terrorizing defenders on the outside. McConkey's quickness and precision combined with Harris's physical dominance create a formula that's familiar, but now it's even faster, sharper, and harder to defend. There's something else that stands out about Harris, something you don't catch just by looking at stats. He's a much better route runner than people give him credit for. At Ole Miss, he didn't showcase every route in the tree, but what he did run was smooth, sharp, and clean. The Chargers coaching staff will refine the rest, and when they do, Harris could become a nightmare for opposing defenses. Honestly, outside of Jaden Higgins, who was drafted earlier, there wasn't another wide receiver in the Chargers' range that fits their needs better than Trey Harris. It's a huge win and exactly the type of aggressive but smart move this team needed. After locking down Harris, the Chargers shifted gears toward building the trenches, and that's where Jamari Caldwell enters the story. A powerhouse defensive tackle, Caldwell made a name for himself as a fierce run stopper in a draft class filled with defensive linemen. While some fans might have had other names circled on their boards, like Ty Robinson or Riley Mills, the truth is clear. The Chargers' scouting department saw something special in Caldwell. And when it mattered most, they trusted their evaluations and pulled the trigger. Caldwell brings size, power, and a mean streak that will fit beautifully into Jim Harbaugh's vision for this defense. He's exactly the kind of tough, no-nonsense player the Chargers needed to anchor the middle. While other prospects stayed on the board, the Chargers went after a player they believe can make an impact, not just fill a roster spot. If you're building a team to win tough, physical games deep into the season, you need players like Trey Harris and Jamari Caldwell. And with these picks, the Chargers made it very clear. They're coming for more than just playoff appearances. They're aiming to build a team that can dominate. When the Chargers grabbed Jamari Caldwell in the draft, they didn't just fill a need, they sent a loud message to the AFC West. We're ready for the fight. At the time of the pick, Caldwell stood out as the best true run-stopping defensive tackle still available. He's the kind of player built for the gritty battles happening in today's AFC West, where running backs are being asked to carry offenses and smash through defensive lines. The Chargers knew they couldn't afford to let offenses like the Raiders, now loaded with weapons, run wild against them. And Caldwell was the answer they needed. Standing 6 feet 1 inch, weighing 332 pounds, he's a force of nature on the interior line, swallowing blocks, clogging lanes, and freeing up the edge rushers to wreak havoc. In a division that's getting tougher by the day, the Chargers understood the importance of building a wall in the trenches. They didn't just pick a big body. They picked a player who brings relentless energy, surprising athleticism, and a fire to dominate every snap. What makes Caldwell even more exciting is his hidden potential as a pass rusher. Despite his massive frame, he posted 22 quarterback hurries, an incredible number for a player his size. Most would expect him to be just a wall against the run, but Caldwell has the quickness and strength to collapse pockets too. That kind of dual threat ability is rare, and it's exactly what a team like the Chargers needs to control games on both early downs and critical third downs. In any other draft year, Caldwell would have likely gone late in the second round. The Chargers recognized the opportunity, pounced on it, and secured a player who perfectly fits Jim Harbaugh's vision for a tough, physical, no-nonsense defense. With Amarian Hampton, Trey Harris, and now Jamari Caldwell, there's a clear theme emerging. The Chargers aren't just collecting players, they're building a mentality. Each of these picks brings toughness, strength, and a mean streak that's going to change how this team plays football. This draft isn't just about adding talent, it's about building a new identity. And with Jamari Caldwell anchoring the defensive line, the Chargers just got a whole lot harder to push around.